This is Sarah, and this past weekend I went to DEFCON. Or should I say, NoodleCon, actually. This was NoodleCon. Let's see, first and foremost, I had a blast. That's the most important thing to say about it. I didn't plan on going to DEFCON. Previous years that I've attended kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, so I was like intentionally taking a break from the conference. But since I live in Vegas, I still wanted to see my friends. So I planned to hold the first ever NoodleCon. I actually spent an hour the night before putting raw pasta in static bags and sealing those up and cutting out pieces of cardboard for Noodle's not robot badges, which is his equivalent of DEFCON's human badges, which they give to their regular attendees. And I passed out the not robot cardboard badges to people with packets of pasta and prompted them to make a pasta badge for Noodle and trade that to me for a proper NoodleCon badge. That was sort of my quirky thing that I did in the food court on Friday. And my friends did come. I got to visit with everybody, which was good. That's what I wanted to get out of it. So at the end of Friday, I was planning on just packing up and going home, but Auntie Scotland came through and got Noodle his own real official DEF CON badge, so me and Noodle could actually attend and walk around the conference area, which was super awesome. And like, thank you 100 times for that, because I'm glad that I ended up going this year. As I mentioned, I kind of had relatively negative feelings about the conference from the past, but this year totally changed my mind. I think one of the reasons for this is that there's a larger hardware presence there. Basically, kind of because of Badge Life, and I want to say the hardware developer, Hackaday community, people that I'm more familiar with kind of created this giant ship that they were piloting, and they just sort of rammed it into the conference and just forced their presence on top of the computer security infosec-ness that it's already about. So they just sort of brought their own party to the show and took it over, and that was really great to see. It also brought a lot of people that I gel with there, so there was a lot more for me to connect with. I felt like I had more in common with things that were going on there, so that helped. It was also just cool to see so many badge add-ons everywhere and people actually talking about circuit design and boards. So I came on Saturday, I visited with all my old friends. Since I had Noodle in his proper Noodle papoose, he was the best conversation starter ever. I met a lot of new people just because I had him on my person. And yeah, like I met the people who actually designed the DEF CON badge this year, the toy makers, and I got a lot of inspiration from them for board design that I want to do in the future. On Saturday, I followed my friend Scotland around and watched her and a group of people actively try to solve the badge challenge, where you have to kind of decode puzzles that are embedded in different layers of the badge, and depending on how you interact with it, you unlock layers of, I guess, story that are built into it, and that's really cool. So I watched a bunch of people actively try to solve it, and I was enamored by this. And needless to say, this gave me a lot of inspiration for, well, not only the next NoodleCon badge, but other badges that I make for my projects in the future as well. On Saturday night, I dropped Noodle off at home because my back was killing me and I wanted to return that night for the dancing and the partying. And within that hour or so window that I was collecting myself, a thunderstorm / dust storm just like pounded the city hard. No one was expecting it, but suddenly it was here. And what it did is transform the entire city into this dusty, wet, rainy, very dramatic kind of cyberpunk cityscape. So it added this whole extra layer of texture to the experience of walking around Caesar's Palace and the Flamingo back and forth. I had a good time. I didn't drink. I was out late. I came back on Sunday and I said my goodbyes to everybody, and I handed out NoodleCon badges to my friends, and one really awesome person did in fact make me, or not me, sorry, made Noodle a pasta art badge that glows and has noodles like glued onto the piece of cardboard, and he got a NoodleCon badge in return, but that is Noodle's favorite thing in the entire world now. as it is mine. So thank you for that, like, all the hearts. Yeah, thank you to all of Noodle's friends and my friends who gave him badge add-ons and badges and all the cool toys that were hanging around his neck the entire time. And I want to thank Drew from Osh Park for facilitating in the creation of the NoodleCon boards, because without you, there wouldn't have been a NoodleCon at all to begin with. When everything is said and done, I had an amazing conference. Like, that's all there is to it. I'll probably most definitely be back next year in full form, and I will be developing a future NoodleCon that is more than just glow crackers and pasta. So until next time, I don't know, I'm gonna jump back on that TensorFlowing stuff and start developing more stuff for Noodle, because I don't know, I've got a lot to get finished before the end of the summer. So keep making awesome stuff out there, and as always, thank you for watching.